Hello everyone, Emmylou here. I'm going to show you how to do a bluebell wood today. I really feel like now the bluebells are out, it's really nice to draw a nice, awesome looking wood. There's something I've done with an online client, an adult, and this was my version of it. So it's a bluebell wood with some birch trees, two little deer, and some big oak trees. So I'll just keep that there just so you can see. But this is what we're going to do today. Something similar to this, but not necessarily exactly that. So what we're going to do is we need paper and we need a pencil. I also wanted to show you this apple I drew because everyone has apples. Everyone's got apples at home normally. Always really. I mean, I've got one apple left, but there's my apple painting. And I really enjoyed doing the shadow, which was there. I love doing the light on it. And can you see it looks quite 3D and shiny? So I really enjoyed doing that. Then, woodpecker. Kingfisher. It's not a woodpecker, it's a kingfisher. And I tried doing the feathers on the top. And my signature background of all the drips. So if you want to have a go at maybe drawing a bird in your garden or drawing an apple, from your fridge perhaps, just have a go and then send me the pictures because I'm getting loads of pictures now, which is really cool. So you want your piece of paper, landscape. What if I should make it bigger? I'm just going to push it nearer to you. Is that better? That's a little bit better. Right, okay, so we're going to do a line. Horizon line this is. So it's a horizon line where the sky, I've done it in my other videos, but it's where the sky meets the ground. So after we've done the horizon line, then we're going to do this very lightly, press lightly with your pencil. Then behind that, we're going to draw some hills. It's very, very subtle. So you don't want great big rainbows unless you like the idea of that. But there's a couple of my hills. So you just want wobbly, wobbly line, wobbly line, wobbly line. Once you've done that, we want to think about what's underneath that horizon line. So this is all my ground. So what I'm going to do is touch here, and I'm going to do a swirly road. A little bit like Edward Hopper. No, it's not. Can you do the swirly line, swirly line? Oh, what's that guy? Oh, I've got his pictures. I've got his pictures in my... I'll think of it by the end of the video. But he does swirly paths, and he does the splash in the swimming pool. His name's on the tip of my tongue. Just do another little dot there, and it's a bit like a snake. I'm gonna follow it up, follow it up, follow it up. So it's like a meandering path. Could be a stream, actually. It doesn't have to be a path. Could be like a little river that goes all the way up. And right, okay. Oh, I need to find the name of that guy with the swimming pool. I bet all of you are saying it's that one, it's that one. I might even look on my phone at some point. But anyway, let's concentrate on the bluebell wood. Bluebell wood. But I think your parents will probably know who I mean. I'm going to find it for the next one I do, because I'll be doing Santiori. I think it's Santiori. But it's a beautiful place, and it's to do with beaches, so I'll remember his name for that. So, then we want to think about what's in the foreground, which is near me. So, it's in a forest, so we're going to do a wobbly line, wobbly line. That would be one tree. Then, because it is a forest, you're going to do quite a few. So, there's one tree. There's a big tree there, so this is all a tree. Then I might decide that I want to do a couple of little trees that start here, not here. Because if they're here, it's nearer to you, and if they're further away, it's further away, as in it starts further away. Well, I do a couple, otherwise it might get too confusing. And then you want to go to this side and maybe just go all the way up, and then all the way down. Then you're going to go, da, da, da. There's lots of thin trees as well as chunky trees. Now you might not want to put any trees there, you might just want to have nothing there apart from the sky, But I think I might do a couple more trees here, some small ones. So think of them as, they don't even have to look that much like trees for now, just wobbly little lines that go down. Sometimes they go bigger here, but they don't have to. Now, on this tree, the chunkier one, it will be nice to show some branches. So what you might want to do is touch that there and go, and then go up, touch that there and go. I always find that it's chunkier there and then it goes thinner. So if you can do another branch, I might just go all the way across and then go up all the way across. So this is a very basic woodland, but that's all you kind of need to practice how you want to draw your, that might be quite long actually, but I quite like it in some ways. So what you can do now is rub out. Now I am not going to rub out because it's going to be tricky to colour in the trees with my Tipp-Ex, but look what I've got. I bought them today. Well, I bought them a couple of days ago. They're so cool. They're so cool. So they're chalk pastels, but you do not need chalk pastels. So I'm going to get, if you get confused by the trees, we want to rub out everything inside the trees. So what that will mean, I might do it with a brown now just to show you. So whatever I go over with the brown in a squiggle is what you rub out. So you need to rub out that line. Anything inside this tree, you rub out. So anything inside any of the trees, you're rubbing out. If you're not quite sure, the trees are going to be quite dark, so it doesn't actually matter too much. But if you want to rub out things, you can. If you don't want to rub out, it doesn't matter, because the trees are quite dark. So if you're painting it, then you'll paint it over with white, some of the trees. If you can see the picture there, where is it? If you look at this picture, some of them were silver birch, so they're white, and then I put black on it. So I might show you some of those. But most of them I thought I'd do dark because it's really nice when you can see through the woodland. Do you know what I mean? It looks really cool. So, glad I wore my white jumper. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, think about the sky. The sky is blue for me, and I'm just going to do a light blue, and if you're using chalk or paint, you'll do a water wash. So you do a light dusting of the chalk if you're using chalk. If you're using watercolour pencil, still probably use that lightly. If you're using normal colour pencil, still go over. What will happen is you'll go over the trees as well, but it's okay because you want the sky to look uniform, which means you want it to look all the same. You don't want to do a little bit and then stop and a little bit because the sky will end up looking kind of strange. So once you've done all your subtle blue, which means not really bright, just very low, we're going to do the hills. So think about the sun, because the sun, I'm going to get a nice green, and then I'm maybe going to get another green. So there's two different greens. I'm going to do, again, not too dark, just going to kind of do a light bit coming there. I might even get another green, but if you've only got one green, just do the whole thing the same green, because that is okay, that's fine. Then I'm going to take my one finger and smudge away. I find the fun thing about art is if you're not quite sure, have a go at something. So if you don't know how to smudge, just think, oh, how would I normally maybe smudge with a whole hand? Oh, it doesn't work because there's too many fingers and it gets messy, so let's try the finger next time. So when you make your own mistakes, sometimes those are really valuable lessons. Now, bluebells. Now, we want to do a light dusting of blue. So any blue you like. Bluebells almost look purple, but I'm going to just do blue there. If you feel uncomfortable about going over the trees, you could just avoid the trees, so don't go over them. You could do this, like that, if that helps you. But I just prefer to go over them because that way I can still see them with my black. I can still see them with my black pen, but if you press lightly, you might not be able to see yours. So you can just go round it if you like. Right, so there's roughly my picture blocked out. The path is going to be very light as well. Then what I want to do is now I'm going to work into the trees. So I want a nice dark brown, and I'm just going to colour over where the tree is. You could take forever on this. The lady who I taught the Bluebell wood to on the computer, so we did it online. So you can have lessons with me online if you like, where we do something. But the lady I taught, she took I think 6 hours to do that, so it doesn't matter what age you are, it's nice to take your time. This is going to take me only a couple of minutes, so I'm rushing it, which is not what you really want. I'm going to get another different brown, just because it looks more interesting, doesn't it? Now, I'm not putting any silver birch, but I have a feeling some of you might want that, so I'm going to leave one for a silver birch just so you can see what it will look like. Okay, so once I've done my trees, obviously it's a forest, so you can make lots more trees if you like, but I'm just going to do these just for the sake of the video. Okay. I don't know if you can hear my washing machine in the background. I might close the door because it's on spin cycle. It's a little bit loud. Okay, when you get to the bottom, you can just do that. It's fine because we're going to do the actual bluebells. Right, if you've got one silver birch tree, I'm going to do it all white there. Now it's hard to show you because I've got chalk and felt tips, so it's not helpful. But all of that one tree would be white. Then you'd get a black that I naturally can't find. Oh, I can find, because I had one, didn't I? Oh, black pastel. Got a black pastel. And what you want to do is you want to kind of do little knobbly bits, nodules. It's like, reminds me a little bit of a cookie, and you've got chocolate chips. It's kind of like that. So you want to do a couple of those, but the best thing you want to do as well is slightly outline it, but not too much. And it's okay if it's wobbly, because that's generally what a tree is. And then you want to kind of smudge it a little bit. This may be tricky. Give it a go. Got nothing to lose. If it doesn't come out how you want it, don't worry. Just start again or do something a bit different. This tree would then have maybe a darker brown. You could even just do a little bit of black. What I normally do is work out where the light's coming from. So if the light's coming this way, there'd be light on this bit. But just for the sake of a normal bluebell picture without any detail, let's just do simple things. What's that tree? I don't like that tree much, so I'm gonna do a little bit of... It's quite tricky to do this bigger paper in 20 minutes, so it may not look as awesome as this painting that I showed you earlier, and that's because I am rushing this one to show you all the techniques to use. So there's my trees. Just think, when there's a cylinder, when there's a tree, that where you want it to look round, you just do a dark bit each side. So if I want this one to look round, I'll do a dark bit there, dark bit there, dark bit there, dark bit there, and then I'll smudge. And you could do that with watercolour paper, pencil. You want to smudge it in, really, so you don't want just a dark line like mine. But can you see the difference? It looks more like a tree than that one in the way that it's got an outline to it. So these trees, quite basic. You can add whatever you like, more trees, whatever. But we're going to do the path. So I'm going to take a green. A light green's quite nice. And I'm just going to, left and right, I want to just do a light colour there, because it's going to be grass for me. Doesn't have to be grass, could be brown for you if you want. But something about, I love having grass in a woodland kind of picture. I'm going to take a bit of a colour that like looks beigey, but you don't need to. You could just keep it as it is. So if you're a bit more confident or you're a bit more older or experienced, you can add the edge to it. Okay, right, bluebells. Bluebells are really important to do. So I've got quite a lot of blues in mine. So what I might take is this one. But then I love the idea of the purple. So I might do blue and purple. Some of you might not have these colours. So if you don't worry. Just as long as you've got a blue and a purple. It reminds me of a Monet picture. So like Claude Monet's water lilies that I did. It's a bit like that. So you just want to block in purple, blue, just purples and blues to get that effect. Purple and blue, where are you? Then, depending on what you're using, if it's chalk, you can smudge a little bit. If it's paint, I'd almost say paint's the best thing to use because you can layer it on. But I thought I'd show you in chalk because some of you are more likely to have chalk than paint by the sounds of what you're doing. Like the pictures you sent me, most of them are chalk by the looks of it. If you've got watercolour pencil or just normal pencil, just colour blues and purples and it will look perfect. Okay, so now I'm just going to go over this a bit more because it's a bit of, you want a nice fresh green, you know those green grasses you can buy. You can see in the wood, very fresh green. Then, because I've got chalk, I'm going to take a rubber and I'm just going to rub out the middle of the path to make it look like it's lighter. But you might want to add some white paint on top or some white pastel, whatever you like. But it looks more appealing, like it looks more like you're being led through when you've got like a bit of a white bit in the middle. So this is a really basic forest and we want to just do more really to it. So we're going to take a fresh green that's like spring and you want to do some leaves. Now, as I say, if this is a painting, you're going to take your time and you're going to create really nice green trees and you can go over here, but I'm quite limited with my chalk. Maybe message me if you want me to do one in paint. But if I show you this one, I did splodges like that with green paint. And then here I did some grass and I just did, it's very, I find you can do more. You can do more when it's paint. But it's more scarier as well, but in a good way. Now, because I've done the background, I can add in more of the colours now. So I can make them more vibrant, more colourful here, which will look cool. And if you want to add a sun, that might be nice. A bit of yellow for a bit of warmth is nice, isn't it? And then you could think, ooh, if the sun's coming from that way, there'll be some yellow there because it'll be shining on the tree. So you could literally, can you see the yellow? Yeah, there it is. And obviously you won't have that black line. So have a bit of fun just creating your own bluebell wood. Like, I'm loving the bluebells at the moment. If you're finding the bluebells are too dark, you know, I would end up having some lighter blue. Can you see the, I'll do it big just so you can see, but the lighter bits of blue looks really cool. And then if you wanted to, you could maybe do some grass. You could add some animals that I may have drawn in my other videos. So you might have seen me draw, you could put a kangaroo in there just for fun. Couldn't you? That'd be awesome. So a bit of grass here and there. So that is, I'm putting a bit of green to show that there's grass bits within the woodland. So this is a little bit quick, but just know that as long as you've got your setup of the trees going down, so you've got your horizon line, the mountains, then the trees, and then this bit. I think it's this bit, then the trees. So you've got the horizon line, mountains, this bit, trees. And then just colour it however you like. You could have a fantasy forest. You could have you could have pink trees, purple path, in it you could put a Teletubby, or you could put Minecraft, or you can put something that you love. You could put a unicorn. So whatever's fun for you, and just have some fun with it and enjoy it, and let me know your thoughts, let me know what you come up with, and as I say, put some animals in there if you want. I might sign my one. Da-da-da. Whew. There's my little signature. So yeah, just be aware that you can do whatever you like. So this would be my painting that took 6 hours, and it's not probably that finished yet, or just a normal sketch of a bluebell would. Have a go, do it with your parents perhaps, or your friends, or your family, or whoever, and let me know how you get on. Subscribe and share, and I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah.